Marriage isn't about perfection. It's about patience, compromise, and the quiet strength of two people who decide, day after day, that love is worth fighting for. Arman and Sana had been married for 7 years. On the surface, their life looked simple. A modest house, steady jobs, and a small circle of friends. Yet, beneath that simplicity was a relationship that carried both the weight of challenges and the lightness of deep understanding. When they first got married, everything felt like a fairy tale. Arman was an assistant manager in a private company, while Sana was Their schedules were hectic, but they always made time for late-night walks and special Sunday breakfasts. But as the years passed, reality began to set in. Bills piled up, family expectations grew, and work pressure became heavier. Little arguments, which they once brushed aside with laughter, began to feel like storms brewing on the horizon. There was one particular night when Sana came home late from school, completely drained and frustrated. The house was messy, dinner wasn't cooked, and Arman was still glued to his laptop, working. She snapped at him, accusing him of not caring enough. He, just as exhausted from his own long day, fired back. That night, they slept without speaking a word, their backs turned to each other in a silent standoff. But the next morning, Arman left a small, simple note on the dining table. It read, "We are on the same team. Remember." Next to the note was a cup of tea, made just the way Sana liked it, with extra sugar. It was such a simple gesture, but it instantly melted the anger from the night before. Sana smiled, realizing that their arguments weren't signs of failure. Instead, they were reminders to always return to love. Over time, they learned to build small habits that strengthened their bond. They created a rule: never let a fight last more than 24 hours. They made it a point to eat dinner together, no matter how late it was. And every Friday night, no matter how tired they were, they would each share one thing they were grateful for in the other person. One of their hardest challenges came when Arman lost his job. For months, he struggled with rejection and crippling self-doubt. He began to question his worth as a husband, feeling immense guilt that Sana had to shoulder more of their responsibilities. But Sana never once made him feel small. Instead, she gently reminded him, "Your job doesn't define you, your heart does." She supported him in every way she could, encouraging him to learn new skills, helping him prepare his resume, and cutting down household expenses without a single complaint. During that difficult time, their love grew deeper than ever before, because it was being tested in the fire of hardship. Eventually, Arman secured a better job than the one he'd lost. But he always said that the true victory was on the new position. He earned it was the unwavering way Sana stood by him when he felt he had nothing to offer. Years later, their lives stabilized, and they became known among their friends as the couple that makes marriage look easy. But, in truth, it wasn't easy at all. It was a product of daily effort, consistent forgiveness, and choosing love, even in moments when anger seemed like the easier path. One evening, as they sat together on their balcony watching the sunset, Arman turned to her and said, "Do you know what makes our marriage work?" Sana raised an eyebrow. "My amazing cooking," she teased. He chuckled. "No, it is the fact that we never gave up on each other even when we had every reason to." She leaned on his shoulder and whispered, "That is because love isn't about finding the perfect person, it is about building a perfect bond with an imperfect one." Arman and Sana's journey shows that a successful marriage isn't measured by grand gestures, but by the small, everyday decisions to respect, support, and love one another. And so, their story became a quiet reminder that when two people choose each other again and again, through all the storms and all the sunshine, they write a love story that even time cannot weaken. If you enjoyed this story and believe in the enduring power of love, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Heart Talk, for more inspiring love stories. Thank you for watching.